So I've had a lot of people asking about my track system and like maintaining the grass in the wet season, and I rotate the paths that they take. So for example, this path, which I showed in one of my Vlogmas videos, I've now roped them off from so they can't get in here, and it's to let the ground breathe and have them have access to areas that aren't quite as muddy. So the new path that I gave them, I'll show you, it's on higher ground, so the water's more likely to drain. But yeah, this is the path that they were on. As you can see, quite muddy, especially near like the entrance point. And then this is the new path. You can see that there's like a lot of grass, and then they can come through in here and they still have the middle area, which is like our sacrifice, meaning like that's the area that we're just letting them screw up until it gets dry enough to allow them on the outer perimeter of the track. But they've been on this for a few days, and in general, this is like way more dry. Someone slid here though. What were they doing? Way more dry. They're less likely to punch holes in it. Like down here, because it dips down, this is going to be more wet. And then up here, this is the same track that they've had access to, but again, it's on a hill, so it doesn't get quite as mucky. So you can see that it drains quite well because we've been getting a lot of rain. So yeah, this is how I kind of do it, and I let them like screw up the ground and destroy the ground for a little while before I pull them off of it. And what this does is it also allows them to like churn up the grass and fertilize it with their poops, and then we rest it, and you can drag the poops and kind of spread them as well, and then grass grows back. So it actually improves the quality of the grass too, while having them be out of areas where they're highly likely to just be standing in mud. So that's the neat little tip about, like, here's where it gets muckier and the middle is not much drier, so there's not really any point in me moving them off of this part because it's just this low stretch. And then as you see above, the drainage gets better again because it's not deep mud. So yeah, this is like the worst of it in here, but they usually go around the perimeter where it's falling, where it's more dry, and then it gets more solid again here. Still dirt turned up because there's horses walking over it, but you can see how much drier it stays here compared to there. And then once it's dry enough, more so like in the springtime or like later spring, they'll get moved onto the outer perimeter where it gets quite soupy, like it's quite marshy down there, and then also have access to this middle part and then the other outer perimeter on the other side. But those areas get more wet, so I don't give them access to those areas over the winter. Like the far perimeter, they could maybe if they destroy the ground enough, but it does get more wet than down here. Come on, guys. And then I also have rock in high traffic areas, but the crappy thing is that it gets absorbed into the ground quite quickly, so that sucks. This must be the world's most delicious bale because they don't want to come in for dinner. Come on, let's go. I've been calling them and calling them. Come on. So yeah, the crappy thing is that the rock gets absorbed into the ground like when it rains a lot. It's still there, but it's not anywhere near as much there as it used to be. Oh, they're finally coming. Yay. Yay, finally. Yay. But yeah, like to have the rock not get absorbed, it's quite expensive. You need to like lay down some landscaping fabric, put down some larger rock and like dig. Well, first before doing both of those things, you'd like dig down till you hit like the hard ground. Come on. And they're coming. And then you'd put the landscaping fabric down so that it doesn't get absorbed into the ground as easily. Put down large rock, then put down a smaller rock over top, or you could just use large rock. Then you do quite a thick layer of the rock, and that prevents it from being absorbed into the ground. But that's like, we're talking thousands of dollars, especially for larger areas. So for me, I don't really want to put that much money into a place that I'm not staying at long term, because already I spent like $900 on the rocks that I did get. So yeah, like I kind of do enough that I can to get by and do a decent job, but it's gonna be the thing where when I want to make it like perfect and last for like years and years and years, I'm gonna be doing that into land that is my own and that I intend to live on long term, or at the very least, even if I were to move, if I own the property, like I get the benefit from selling it. So Phoebe, wait. Phoebe, wait. So, ow, fuck. Hit myself in the face. So then it's worth putting the money into, because it's not like I'm putting thousands of dollars into bettering someone else's property. So that's also why I'm so bent on wanting to have my own property, because then I can do all these things that I really want to do. Oh. Here comes the boy. Welcome. Hi. Hello. He says, I am here, which is I have arrived. But hopefully when, not if, I do eventually get my own property, I'm going to make the most badass track system ever. And I'm so excited for that, because like that's what my heart's been longing for my entire life. So like 27, almost 28 years. Yes, I'm going to pretend that when I was like a literal fetus and newborn baby, that I still wanted to have a farm property and that I was sentient enough to want that. I'll pretend. So when I finally get to do that, I can only imagine how amazing and sweet it's going to be, because it'll just be awesome. And I can't even imagine. Mesa is way up there. Mesa, come on! Is she standing? And everyone else is here. Mesa, come on! Well, not to be a dick, but I guess Mesa is not getting dinner tonight because it's getting dark. So that sucks for her. And yeah. Pogo loves Milo so much. What are you guys doing? Milo, you did that to yourself and you pinned your ears at him, you wiener. She is looking again, so I'm going to give her one more chance to make the right decision. Otherwise, if they stay down here... Oh, no. Hey. Okay, because Milo's like, I'm doing my starvation face, because I am starved. Of course, when I finally feed everyone else, she just makes her way moseying on down here. Hopefully the boys don't finish, because they're dicks and they'll steal your food. Okay. I did a bad job bringing this under the fence. So we're gonna bring Her Highness her food and hope that these fatties don't eat too quickly to not let her have it. Come on, Mesa! Faster! Really just taking her sweet time. I mean, to be fair, I did just change the track, so they're still learning where it is. That's why everything gets flagged when it's changed. And I make the pathways extra wide because I don't want everyone like fighting or... Oh, right through the rocks. Good job, Mesa. Come on, Mesa! Faster! Come on! Come on! Junie B. Jones has wind knots, and legend has it it's from fairies tying the knots in their manes to ride them. So I guess they only want to ride June. Oh, wow. Now we common. Ho, 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 ho. Okay. You freaking wiener. You dink. And to be honest, this hard rock has really helped their feet, particularly Milo, because he just has to walk across it for short distances, and I've noticed that he's developed more sole concavity since. Milo's like comeback king from being like totally dead lame on all types of rock, even like pea gravel, just being able to walk across big rocks like the ones that I put down without it being a big problem, largely because of getting him used to walking across different types of footings, but in short durations. Because if he had an entire field made up of the rock that I just showed you, he would be so sore from it. So the key is just to have him walking across short little stints of it, like for example just walking up to the water bucket or walking across the little rock path back there. And like I wouldn't put rock like that by the water bucket if he was at a point where he was too sore to walk through it either. So that's the other thing, is you gotta pick like a sweet spot and the right type of rock for the stage your horse is at in their rehab journey, because he would probably not drink water, or he would have drank substantially less if I did that right near the beginning of his journey where he was really, really footsore. All of these horses are forage fed, and as you can see, they're very skinny. Just skinny little creatures. Even the thoroughbred, especially the thoroughbred. Look at how skinny Pogo is. He's wasting away, and Banksy needs to go on a diet and go back into exercise. And then the hard keeper thoroughbred, you can see she's very skinny. Yeah, their mud at the front of the field sucks. So I have to move their stuff around too, because I got access to that field late in the year and didn't have a chance to put down rock in the same way as I did in this other field. Also, the reason why Harlow is in that field with the babies is because she lets the boys steal her food, and I'd have to sit outside with her for like 45 minutes all winter last winter to wait for her to finish her food, because she's a really slow eater. She takes her sweet ass time. So she doesn't let the babies steal her food, so it works out better. Like in the spring, summer, I want to put her out on this side with everyone else, because Mesa is absolutely in love with her. And then hopefully, yeah, have that herd be in even number, because I think there's 7 horses out there right now. And then just get another baby or like a border or something to put out in Gala's field. And yeah, I think that would be lovely. And then they get one full piece of field. This is for 6 horses, and they get varying amounts because the Mustangs get the least, Harlow gets the most, and then Pogo, then Milo, and then Banksy. And they also flavored waters. That's their turmeric water, which is why it's a funny color. And they also chaseberry water and salt water, and then regular normal water, which is the one they're drinking right now. And then we just soak their food for tomorrow and then repeat the whole thing. And they're leaving again already, because apparently that's the best hay bale ever. So they're leaving the girls behind because they're mean. Oh, you guys are thirsty. They like these waters better than the ones up at the front for some reason. Bye, Pogo. Hope Milo's going. Watch out, Pogo. Oh, Milo, you're such a wiener. Oh Lord, he going. It's like, but it's slippery, so I need to step so carefully. Banksy is waiting for his girls because he is a gentleman. We're kind of waiting. And we're still waiting for this to fill enough. And now it's full enough, so I'm just gonna put a bucket on it as a lid. And now it's ready for tomorrow. Bye, Banksy. It's like you called me. I'm not calling you to come back, don't worry. Keep going. And now Phoebe and I walk back, and this walk is actually really good for her rehab, so she's doing awesome and gradually extending the length of her walks. Oh my God, he's coming back because I called him. Whoops, sorry, bub. But yeah, I have so many ideas on how to make like a permanent track system that would be so cool. But they're going to have to wait until I'm a homeowner or like leasing a house to own or something like that, because I won't put tons of money into a property that I just have to essentially leave it behind at, which is the crappy thing about footing, because you can't just like scoop it up and take it with you. I mean, you could try, but it would be more work than it was worth, and you'd kind of look petty. So yeah, the shelters are already like what I've put money into enough, and they like, we can take the materials at least, or like just sell them to my landlord or something, I don't know. And yeah, so that is the goal, is to eventually get my own little farm that I can like put my heart and soul into creating exactly what I want. And everyone that follows me on YouTube and watches my content, even if you watch it because you hate me, you're actually helping me get closer to that goal. So thank you. All energy is good energy in my direction, because I'll just take the negative energy and turn it into positive, which is so ironic for me to say, because I used to be such a negative person, and I've really been working on my perspective and my self-image, and it's actually been working. So I don't even really have to fake it until I make it anymore. I'm starting to feel it. Yeah, it's a very beautiful night though. Look at that. Phoebe's like, I'm following scent trails. And Banksy is just having an NPC moment. Sometimes he just hangs out like by himself somewhere and I'm just like, what are you doing? On a really cheesy, like tacky note, for like, well, before I get into that, I turned 28 on January 8th. And in high school in grade 10, we did this project called When I'm 28, where we essentially, like, it was supposed to be for future planning, but what everyone did is we just made like our dream life and like where we thought we would be when we're 28, which was like so unrealistic because I was a homeowner, which I'm clearly not right now. And yeah, so on my project, I had like a little farmhouse, I had horses, and I was like married and stuff, which again, clearly I'm not. But my thing was like, okay, you know, it would be really cool if I like won the lottery or something and actually managed to get a property and make the most important part of that whole vision come true. Owning a farm. I don't really give a crap if I'm married or not. So yeah, that would be cool if I actually did that when I was 28 or before I turned 29 or whatever. Not gonna happen, but in my head, I think sometimes I'm like, that would be pretty lit. I just had to zoom in on how cute Pogo is being, using Milo as a backrest. Pogo! Hi! Banksy's going back to the girls. He truly cannot make up his mind. So, if I somehow win the lottery this year without buying a ticket and make this happen, we're having a party and everyone's invited. But don't hold your breath because it would be a sheer miracle. But yeah, that project is kind of funny because it was supposed to be for future planning, and it's like, you know, it would have been cool if you taught us how to like do our taxes or something instead of just having kids dream up unrealistic dreams that they can now look back on and go, wow, how different things are from what we were taught to expect. Because even like up until like probably 5 years ago, it would have been more realistic to be a young homeowner because the cost of living hadn't skyrocketed to the extent that it has now. And yeah, more like 10 years ago would have been the really sweet spot. But yeah, so looking back on that, it's kind of just like, damn it, why did they do us so dirty in school? Such unrealistic planning, but it is what it is. I'm gonna just try to survive and do things how I can and create silly little vlogs that people may or may not even watch, in hopes that I become such a YouTube star in 2024 that I can buy a house. So that's my version of winning the lottery. That's probably the only realistic way to get that type of revenue, or should I say semi-realistic. So yeah, if you guys want to get me a birthday present, help me get to 100,000 followers so I can get my YouTube plaque and look like a freaking big deal. Kind of joking, kind of not. Not that far away from it, so y'all help. Or better yet, make like all of my videos go viral to like 1 million views, and then I can buy a farm. And since we did it together, there will be a YouTube subscribers cabin area where people can stay and hang out on the farm and do fun things. So especially if it's big enough, because honestly, having like 100-acre property, oh my god, I just can't even. Definitely won't be in Langley because that would cost me like $30 million. Kind of joking, also kind of not. My version of winning at capitalism is getting enough money to buy a house and have my family be safe and secure, and then like helping other people out with a lot of the money instead of, you know, hoarding it. That's my version. And it'd be really cool to be able to do more charity work than I've been able to do. So yeah, it'd also be really cool to see the world shift so that people don't have to work to fulfill and receive basic needs, because I think everyone should be entitled to food, water, and housing. And the fact that that's a radical idea is insane, and it speaks for how brainwashed and propagandized our society is to have actually successfully made a huge population of people believe that people have to work to receive basic human rights, even as some people hoard the amount of wealth that entire countries have, and they don't need that. And they also didn't receive it by working hard. They received it from other people working hard and them paying them so little that they profit the majority of the money for doing a fraction of the work. It is like a pyramid scheme, and most of us are on the bottom of it. And yeah, so be ready in 2024. You're gonna get way more anti-capitalist Shelby coming out, because I'm getting really disenfranchised with the amount of evil that is going on in the world, and how basically all of it comes back to capitalism and imperialism. So I can't really ignore that. So just gonna get louder. Did you have a nice walk? Yeah? Good job. Fun fact, when I was in the US at my mailbox picking up mail, there's a guy, when I stopped at the gas station, that was standing really close to my truck as I came out of the gas station and just staring really intently at it. And I got super nervous because it was like a man, and I was like, should I go back inside? And then no, he complimented me on my bumper stickers, which I agree, they're great. And again, I'll show you just in case people don't read as fast. Pause the video if you really want to see them. Okay, cool.